Good morning, friends. In this concluding session classes conducted by Board of Studies Academics, I, CA Ashish Gupta, welcome you all. Students, in this journey on the paper Strategic Financial Management, that is paper number 2, final level. In today's session, in the first part of the session, I will discuss some additional questions with you that has already been uploaded. There are 4 questions are there. These questions are related to some topics one way or another. However, they have not been covered in our earlier assignments. So we are discussing in today's first part. After that, I will share with you how to crack SFM examination. Here, and I will discuss with you some tips. Now, I think Namartha in last class was asking, sir, how to memorize the formulas, etc. I will discuss with you. Don't worry. I will also throw some light on the same. So, student, let us start first of all with the assignment. In this session, as usual, if you have any query, you can send it to me online in your chat box. Otherwise, you can also send by email to me. Okay, student, let us start our session. And Viraj is saying good morning, good morning. Good morning, Viraj. Now, student, first question is related to your buyback, some kind of arrangement. Because what is buyback? Now, when we talk about the buyback, it is sometimes it is said that it is a kind of a you can say that it is a replacement of the your dividend income. What happens when a company has a pile of cash and they may not have any investment opportunity, good opportunity, then they can go for the same. Otherwise, sometimes the company can opt for the buyback, saying that, okay, of course, we have a used cash, we can return it back, or even we sometimes they can make a sorry, they can make a leverage buyback. Leverage buyback means they borrow the money for buybacking the share. Recently, in around 2 or 3 years, there in the India, there was a spate of the buybacks. A company find it, and it is when we talk about the buyback, ultimately there does not remain difference comes into the wealth of the shareholder. However, EPS and return on investment improves a lot. There is one example in your study material that clarifies this aspect. So my request to you, please go through this example thoroughly and also understand the logic behind the buyback. Now let us start reading the question. In this question, the unique feature is that it is a kind of a leverage buyback. Okay, otherwise, company normally use their own fund to buy back the share. SM Limited has a market capitalization of 3,000 crores and current earnings per share is given to you 200 per share with a PE ratio of 15. So we can write here market capitalization ₹3,000 crore. Then another is EPS rupees 200 per share and price earning ratio 15. Okay, so you can see that it is simply computable. Even if this 3,000 figure has not been given, you can find the same. Even any figure is missing, you can find the same because out of 3 figures, the multiplication of these 2 figures come here. After it says the board of directors proposal to buy back 20% of shares at a premium which can be supported by financials of the company. The board expects the post will be this much. Okay, so post buyback, they are expecting the price. The post buyback PE will remain the same, that it will remain the same. The company proposes to fund the buyback by arriving 8% backlog since available resources are committee for expansion plan. Now here student, it is a tricky point. Now in this, if the company saying there are some expansion plan, so it means the company ultimately going for, you can say, some expansion plan where the return will be higher than this 8%. Because if the company is not having any return more than 8%, of course, they will use their fund to finance this option, to finance this uh, buyback. Applicable income tax rate is given to you. The interest amount which can be paid for availing the loan. Now we are required to calculate interest amount which can be paid for availing the bank loan, the loan amount to be raised, and the premium per share as percentage to be paid over current market price. Student, this question is your from your past examination. So let us start solving the question. Current market price of the share. It is rupees 200 into 15. That is earning per share. It comes to rupees 3,000. Okay. Next step, we find out, because for buyback, first of all, the figure of number of share has not been given to us. So first of all, we shall reach to that figure. Simply for number of shares, what we shall do, we shall divide market capitalization by the market price of the share. The figure comes 1 crore. Okay. Now it says company proposed to buy back 20%. Okay. Number of shares, we came to know how much the capital of the company is by numbers. Now we shall see the number of shares can be bought back. Simply 1 crore into 20%. The number comes 20 lakh. Okay, student, clear? Now it says post buyback, the price per share is expected to be 3057. Okay, price earning ratio is 15. Okay, so our post buyback EPS, we shall find out post buyback EPS. Now what happens? Now let us calculate the earning after tax. Okay, now we shall calculate earning after tax post buyback. Student, here is the catch. When this question has come into the examination, the most common mistake of the student was here. In this question, it is very important after 20% buyback, because you will buy back here 20 lakh. Total number of share is 1 crore. So whatever with the shares will be left, that will be 80 lakh. So it is very important because it is a crucial point. Once you got it right, then you will proceed in a correct manner. Otherwise, you can go wrong. The figure comes okay, student. Now we shall compute. Sorry, pre-tax earning. Pre-tax earning after buyback. Since tax rate is our 70%, 30%, sorry. It will be 23 lakh, 23 lakh 291.42 lakh, 429 lakh. Okay, so we can similar manner we shall compute pre-tax earning before buyback. Okay, now we have these two earnings post buyback, pre buyback 571. Sorry, just correct this figure, student. Okay, now we have earning pre buyback, and here it is a figure post buyback. Okay, so by difference we can compute. Now our question will start getting solved. Yes, Namarta, your question is very correct. Why pre-tax earning not post-tax? Because here the interest element is there. And when we consider interest, it is a tax deductible. because interest factor is our tax deductible. So that's why we are considering here pre-tax. Then of course you see the answer, you will come to know how we have, because it is ultimately the pre-tax factor. That is a you can say interest deductible factor that is helping us to compute this figure. So let us see. Particulars. Okay. Now pre-tax earning before buyback is available with us. This one. We write this figure here. Okay. Now this will be the amount of interest that we can avail, that we have to avail. We raised. Okay. So first part of answer is this: the interest amount which can be paid for availing the bank loan. So our first part is answer is over. Now the second part is amount of loan to be raised. Simply because here we shall pay 8%, so we have divided it this by this. The second part our answer is clear. Okay, this is our second part, second sub part. Now we are coming to number of share to be bought. So it means it is not clear. We have taking this much of loan amount. This much of loan amount we are taking. So now with this amount, how much number of shares we shall buy back? Sorry. Number of share bought back is it is a 1 minute, 1 second. 20 lakh number of share we have to buy back. It is 20 lakh. So we shall put this figure here. Okay. Third is asking for premium, etc. So first of all, we compute at what price they will buy the share. We have computed the price at which we shall buy back the share. Okay, so now here the current market price prevailing is 3,000. So we shall place the figure here. Yeah. So third part is premium per share. It is rupees 300. Okay. So now percentage of premium over current market price. So over here we have completed our third sub part. So student, you see that how we have arrived this figure. If we draw the answer logically, then there will be no problem because every information is inbuilt in the question. So student, I hope with this how we conduct the buyback. Now question rises, sir, of course in our study material the buyback topic has been covered in our merger acquisition, but we can see that this decision is also a kind of a strategic financial decision. So it can also be covered in the chapter 1 as well. Because sometimes students say, sir, chapter 1 is a purely a theoretical topic. And even I came to know that some coaching centers are claiming that this chapter is a theoretical chapter. No, student, can be a practical chapter as well. Because here, our strategic decisions we have to take. And for strategic decisions, we have to make some calculations. So it can also be based on numerical paper topic also. So never go by same saying it is a theoretical topic, you just go through the theory only. So student, you have to you can say you have to think the logically. Okay. Okay. Now we are coming to the question number 2. This question is basically a kind of a capital market type question. But here I have included in the assignment because some concepts of security valuations are touching upon here. So since that's why I thought ki it is from our old course. Okay, but I thought ki I should include this question in the assignment. Now let us read the question. This question says, property company promoted by multinational international listing on a stock exchange holding 84%, that is 63 lakh shares. So this is promoted by multinational groups and they are holding 80%. It means it is a kind of a promoter. They are basically a promoters. Now profit after tax is 4.8 crore. Pre-fraud market capitalization is 19.2 crores. As per SEBI guidelines, promoters have to restrict their holding 70% to avoid delisting from the stock exchange. Board of directors have decided to not to delist the share but to comply with the SEBI guidelines by issuing bonus share to the minority shareholders while maintaining the same PE ratio. Now, student, what is this concept of delisting? Although it is not directly related to your exam syllabus, but delisting means once a company, sometimes what happens, of course, you have you have earlier in your classes in your 11th 12th you must have come to know the concept of sole proprietorship. Now under what happens when a sole proprietorship business grows, they go for partnership. Okay, when the partnership business grows up, they go to the private limited company. Now if they want to have more funds, they want to require so either they can go for the loan or they can go for the public. Once they go for the public, it becomes a public limited. When once a company becomes a public limited, so what happens? Of course, the shares are held by the promoters. Some promoters are there. Sometimes they hold a share because only then they can exercise the control. But what happens? Sometimes they may have a huge amount of the shares with them, holding with them. So in that case, of course, there's some part is floating in the market, that is called floating market capitalization. But what happens? Well, if their SEBI comes out normally with these limits with time to time, they keep on changing. I think it may be now 75%. I'm not exactly the same because around 2 years back, I came to know that this percentage has changed. They keep on changing because what happens in this question? Here they are insisting that you have to restrict your holding to 75%. It means you have to 25% shares need to be into the market. Okay. So when they are need to be into the floated into the market, they can be two ways. Either they can go for a bonus share or they can become any not IPO, FPO, following public offer. So they can go for another offer for the market because they have to reduce their holding. Okay, student. Because to avoid delisting, because if they will continue to hold more shares, the company will say it is kind of a like a public private limited company. We are not going to SEBI will say it is we are not going to allow to you as a status of a public limited company. You are just equivalent to private limited company. So that's why they have to restrict their holding. And in this case, what their route they are adopting the route of issuing the bonus shares. Okay, student. Now let us see the solution. First of all, we have to find out the PE ratio. For computing the PE ratio, we have to compute the how much share have been floated into the market. Okay, how much share we have been floated into the market? Or because since majority of the shares are with the promoter, so whatever the shares have been floated in the market, we can call them minority shareholders. Okay, total holding is 4%. Number of shares are held by them is 3 lakh. That has been mentioned here. No problem. So balance is in the market. Okay. Now this figure has been given to us. How much amount has been floated into the market? Okay. We have computed here the number of shares that has been floated into the market. This is the amount. Okay. So number of shares to the minority shareholder is 12 crore. So the market price per share is rupees. Sumit is asking, can company with the another offer? Of course, it is called follow-on offer. Okay, that's why I have shown it is called a follow-on offer because they can float into the market. Namrata is saying, sir, it is a 75 of Namrata, it may be 75%. I'm not sure because uh, somewhere around 2 years back, I have read in the newspaper that this percentage has slightly been changed. So, of course, the percentage may be there. I cannot deny. Hmm. Because I have not checked it from any website, etc. So it may be the percentage. If you have checked it, then it is okay. No. Now we come to here. The market price is this. Okay, our market price is this. We shall compute the APS. Okay, our profit after tax is 4.8 crore. Okay, number of shares is 75 crore lakh. So our earning per share is rupees per share. Okay, sure. So our first part is clear. What is our price earning ratio? Next, we have to compute number of bonus shares to be issued. Here, number of shares remains the same, but holding percentage it changes to 75. Okay, so the total number of shares now this is a new number of total number of shares is 84 lakh. Okay. This is a new number of shares. This will continue to be held by the promoters. Okay. So this will be 21 lakh. Now here is not in this 21 lakh. Okay, in this 21 lakh already held by the minority shareholder is 12 lakh. Okay. So balancing figure will be 9 lakh. This 9 lakh will be the bonus shares. Okay. So the bonus share will be issued is the proportion Okay, student. So our second part is clear. Uh, Janvi is asking, sir, what is PE ratio? PE ratio means beta price earning ratio. Price earning ratio, the formula is market price divided by EPS. Okay. So here, if we have been provided with this figure, we can find this by multiplying the same. Okay. Now Sumit is asking, sir, why we have considered market float capitalization, because the holdings of the promoter is not floated in the market. They are held by them. It is not trade. It is not trading, and ultimately some portion is being traded in the market is only market. So from this we can compute the market price of the share. From the shareholding we cannot compute the what the market say about the share. It is only the market floated capitalization we can come to know the price of the share. Now we come to the third part. Before bonus issue, not an issue. Okay, because we have computed here is market price in our working. Okay. Okay. Now after bonus issue, you see here, student, our earning is will remain the same. There will be no change in the earning, so we can consider the 4.8 crore. Okay, number of shares has been increased. So our new earning per share is 5.7. Now it is saying it shall continue to maintain the same PE ratio. It will continue to maintain the same PE ratio. So what will be the market price? Now let us see the new market price. Okay, student. Now last part it is asking what is free float market capitalization. What is our new price? And our number of shares that will be issued to the market, minority shareholders is now 21 lakh. So this will be share in the market. This will be held by the minority shareholder and this will keep on trading in the market. Okay, student. So this is our fourth part of the answer. Now with this question comes to end. Now let me tell you. Okay. 25 in calculating the new share price. See, better it is price earning ratio. Okay. And Janvi, you are asking now, Janvi, beta, you are asking why we are calculating 120 crore. 120 crore, I am not directly finding the figure somewhere in the question because you have mentioned 84 lakh. Of course, 84 lakh we are dividing because the share will be traded in the market. Okay, on that basis we can compute the price because whatever see overall our you okay you may be saying that 84 lakh you are I got your point. You may be referring this now this will be a new EPS. Okay, there may be some error in your mentioning the query. This will be a new EPS. Now EPS will be distributed to all, whether it is held by the minority or it will be held by the promoter. Okay, and Koshki, you are asking about what is 25? It is basically PE ratio, and PE ratio will remain the same. That we have computed here, PE ratio. That is here. Okay, because that will be the basis of our calculation. As I told you, here I have told you this formula I have discussed. This is not a formula; it is basically logic. Okay, student. Janvi, you are asking about some merger concept. Here, 120 crore figure I am not finding somewhere because my doubt is here because EPS, because here merger acquisition is totally different. It is not like a merger acquisition. In a merger, you are acquiring another company, so this is a kind of a totally different. Here, because there we have to pay the consideration either in cash or in the shares. There, this concept is totally different. Don't mix these two concepts. Okay. Now, student, let us come to the question number 3. Students, while I was discussing with you, while I am discussing with you the topic of international financial management, so there was a concept of adjusted present value. So, student, please note this is a question. Its concept is based on the adjusted present value. So let us just quickly read this question, and then I will start solving the same because it will take some time. Okay, student, please read the question carefully. And it is already in your assignment. He is asking, sir, we have used old PE ratio. Of course, beta, because it has said, good question. It has said that the ratio will remain the same. If nothing has been mentioned, you will assume that the ratio will remain the same. If any new ratio has been given, then you go by the same. Very good question. It says, yes, Limited is establishing subsidiary in Hungary, whose currency is Hungarian forint. The subsidiary will require immediate capital expenditure of HUF Hungarian franc on it 1,000 million plus 250 as a working capital. The project has a planning horizon of 4 years, at the end of which it has a revisional value of subsidiary estimated to be 400 million. Because it will normally, what happens whenever it is a common practice, whenever any MNC establish any subsidiary in any country, so after some time, they once they come out with the hair, they normally transfer it to the government or any private company. They sell it the same with the as it is, as on basis, and on this they charge some amount. The working capital recovered at the end of the project is like this. The estimated annual revenue from the project will be 800 million. The estimated annual is 300 million. The depreciation over the life of the project on capital expenditure shall be allowed on first-time basis, which is allowable as a this is against the company's tax in Hungary, because now your income will be taxed in Hungary. The corporate tax rate is 35, and which is payable in 1 year area. Normally, of course, in most of the question we never do it, but sometimes what happens if it has been mentioned, because normally the taxation is carried out in the next year, but if nothing has been mentioned, you will never take it in area. You will take it in the same year. CS plans to finance the project with the 8% rupee loan of 300 million Hungarian forint for the 4 years, and the balance from the retained earning. Issue cost on the loan will be 200, and which is a tax deductible at 1 year itself. Suitable base discount rate for a similar project for a similar Indian based project is 70%. It is the cost of capital. Okay. Corporate tax rate in India is 30%. It is also payable in 1 year area. Double taxation treaty exists between India and Hungary. Directive for Indian taxation. No, not expecting. So whatever is the tax you have on income, whatever you have tax paid in Hungary, Now you will not need to pay the tax again here. The sport exchange rate is this, and Hungarian pound depreciates against the INR will be at a, so it means Hungarian currency is weak. Okay, so it will start declining. Now calculate the adjusted present value of the projection. PV factor has been given to you and make calculations in a million and round up your calculation up to 3 decimal points. The student, when we are talking about adjusted present value, please recall it is basically base and PV plus में PV of side effect of financing. So here it can be interest subsidy or it can be debt present value of tax shield on the interest. All come here. Anyway, I will take your query after break. In the break, I will take your query. Read your query because your query is quite. I'm not understanding how you are linking with the merger. So I will just have patience. I will take it later. Okay. Now here we shall compute the first. We can calculate the base case NPV. Now let us start our working note. Start with we calculate how much tax we have to pay. Our revenue is 800 million foreign less okay. This is taxable profit. Okay, student. So our first part of working is here. Now we compute project cash flows. Okay, all figure will be in Hungarian forint million. Okay. In the end of the fourth year, we shall realize the amount of subsidiary. This is 400. For tax on sale, that will be paid in year 35% of the sale. Working capital. Okay, this will be realized in the end of, as usual in questions of capital budgeting. Now we are considering revenue. Okay, 800 plus 2 4 years. Then cost. Now when we will talk about the tax, it is saying 1 year in area. So of course we shall go forward by 1 year. Okay. Now this is a complete structure of the cash flow. Samartha is asking, sir, why we have considered this profit. See, student, Samartha, whatever with our capital equipment. Okay, now this capital equipment is 1000 crore, 1000 million. Okay, and here we have considered the depreciation. We have used the straight line depreciation method. Accordingly, we have allocated its cost for the 4 years. So we have taken, you can see in the books, the value of this asset is nil. So whatever with the value at which we shall sell the same, it will be a completely gain. So that's why we have considered it as a 400. Very good question, Samartha. So our cash flow will be Okay, now next compute the base case NPV. Now we can do one thing. We can do one thing. We can also compute the forward exchange rate. Okay, now let us see what will be the forward exchange rate. Okay, student. Now our spot rate is the year zero. It is 4. Okay, no problem. Now it will start declining because it is saying that it will be depreciating by the 5 it will by 5%. So in the year one, okay, so this will be the next year rate, forward rate. Okay, student. So student, if you have any queries in here, please let me know because it is the rate we have computed by depreciating the Hungarian forint. Because we have to compute the base case NPV in INR. For this purpose, we shall calculate this at our rate, forward rate. Okay. Now here it is here. Since our initial investment in Hungarian forint is, you see here, this amount plus this amount. Overall, this amount has been invested. Okay, we have invested this much of amount. Our exchange rate is 4. In Indian currency, now we shall start taking up figure from over this working. This working. So all figures I have taken from here. Okay, so our base case NPV will be this one. Kaushik is asking, sir, why it is 250 depreciation? Kaushik, we see here our cost is capital cost is 1,000 foreign million. So we shall and the asset will be depreciated over a period of 4 years on a straight time basis. So that's why simply we have divided. Okay. Now it may be come to your the question may come to one, why we have not deducted. This is 400 from here. Now, Koshki, here in this 400, only the capital asset is not there. There are many things are there, like work, our intellectual property rights. There may be many things may be there. Had it been mentioned that capital cost will be transferred at $4 million, 4 million foreign, 400 million, then certainly I maybe agree with you that 1000 minus 400 divided by 4. But here nothing. They have mentioned that they will transfer the subsidiary. So in that case, normally we should consider that cost will be as our salvage value will be as 0. Uh, Now, Namarta, you have asked a very good question. Uh, Normally, in case your question is valid, I won't say that it is because in some case we consider INR as a base currency or INR. But however, here in this question, there is one hint. The HUF is expected to decline. So there is some hint that the HUF may be the weakening currency. But I think your point is valid. Somewhere actually HUF foreign is even not that much of traded. So in that, of course, it has been the euro. Then certainly I maybe agree with you. But Greek foreign, some currencies are not in that much of you can say that much of popularity. So their value is quite less. Okay, but your point is valid, and how to judge it. Also, and we can generally subsidiaries are established in normally. Of course, there are some questions that where you are establishing subsidiary in USA, but here the clear cut INR has been mentioned in base, so you consider it as a INR because this project is from the viewpoint of the Indian subsidiary. So normally in India, normally we follow that convention. Okay, that is INR is a base currency. That is base currencies comes in after the slash. Or otherwise, what happens sometimes if there is any confusion in the rate, we normally go by the both solutions. Don't worry about it. Unless and there is any clear hint. Now we shall compute the present value of financing side effect. Since it will take a loan of 300 million, 8% is there, 30% is tax benefit. So INR 7.2 million will be the tax shield. Now, very important, this will be discounted by PV factors for the period 2 to 5 years because of 1 year area. Tax effect is considering in 1 year area. Okay, so accordingly, the present value factor will be that has been mentioned in the table. It is very important point. Normally, students commit the mistake here. This is 2 to 5. Okay, so our benefit will be if there is no hint, I have told you, Janvi, Namarta, you can go anyway, whatever you consider the same. No problem. How the projected has been plotted. But I have told you that we have calculated projected cash flow, working notes. And Janvi is asking, sir, why we have not taken the interest. Now here we are taking the interest. We are because we shall consider the financing effect separately. That's why it is called base case NPV. So this was our EV of taxes. Now we shall compute EV of issue cost. Two percent for costing is or we can do one thing also, which is in my opinion is best approach. Our issue cost is 300 million INR less tax, PV of tax benefit. Okay, at the rate of 30%. So the 30% comes for issue cost is not 3 million. Okay, now it is 3 million. Then this tax benefit is 1.8 into present value factor has been given to us. Because tax benefit is an area. Second, first. Yes, here 6 minus 6 into 0.3, that is 180.855. That will come minus. So our here 6 minus 1.539. Okay, student. So this can be an alternative approach because here we are considering the present value of tax benefit. Otherwise, you can also go by the same. That will also be considered correct. Now we shall compute final answer, adjusted present value. Figure is there. P of tax shield this much. And PV of issue cost. Very nice. This will be the adjusted present value of the same project. Okay, student. Meanwhile, I go for a break. You see, see whatever with the you note it down the solution, and you if you have any query, just ask me. Then after the break, I will take up the last question, and then I will discuss some tips with you. Okay, Ashokji, Uh, Now I am just coming to the question 4 of the assignment. But before that, I got the point what exactly the Janvi was asking. Janvi, your approach was alternatively correct because you are ultimately doing the overall capitalization, then you are dividing by the overall number of shares. Then your approach is alternative as well it will work. But answer should is the same, provided the answer should remain the same. No problem. And I think Namaste has asked this means we are going to pay the tax for the first year in second year. Yeah, you are correct. Area means for the first year you are paying the tax in second year. Very good, very correct. Okay, student. Now let us come to the question number 4 of the today's assignment. Quickly, I am coming to this question, and this question you can say this basically this question is from your financial reporting paper. It is somewhere on the similar line. In internal reconstruction, there is, you can say that it is kind of some accounting adjustment unless and until some new issue of the equity share has been made. Otherwise, it is writing of the losses and creating some reserve. Okay, so let us quickly read this question. The following balance sheet is the balance sheet of XYZ Limited. The balance sheet item has been the company's performance is not good and has suffered a sizable loss during the last few years. The company can be nursed back to health with a proper financial restructuring as such the policy is prepared. Equity shares are to be reduced to rupees 2 per share. Fully paid share, preference shares to be reduced with a coupon rate of 9%, make it 9%, with an equal number of shares of fully paid up. The debenture holder have agreed to forego the accrued interest to them, and future rate of interest will be 10%. Okay, so here we can say that it is okay. Whatever they have foregone, that is the main thing. But what is the change of interest is there that will give the benefit in the future. Trade creditor will forego 20% of the amount to them. The company to issue 50 lakh shares of rupee 2 is to the fully paid fully on application. The entire fully amount is fully subscribed by the promoter. Now here there will be cash inflow as well as capital inflow and has a, now next is land is going to be revalued at 50 crore, which is currently is 150. So of course there is a gain. Land and machinery value as a 150, there will be a loss. And a provision of 5 years to be made for the bad doubtful debts. So you are required to impact of the financial restructuring on the company's activity. And this is question is also from your any past examination. So quickly, I am just solving the question. ठीक है पहले भी था वो सेम ही है आपके यहाँ जो यही मोड है मेरे पास शुरू से मैंने उसको छोड़ के गया था एज। अभी आप देखो मेरे में हाफ स्क्रीन पे आ रहा है ये मतलब थोड़ा कम स्क्रीन पे आ रहा है पहले पूरी स्क्रीन पे आ रहा था। आप इसको थोड़ा बड़ा कीजिए। हेलो हाँ अजीत जरा ये देखना स्क्रीन छोटी हो गई मेरी मतलब एक्चुअली में जो मैं वर्किंग कर रहा हूँ पहले ठीक आ रही थी तो अब वो ना थोड़ी कम एरिया में आ रही है देखो तुम्हारे वहां पे क्या आ रहा है। अरे जो नहीं नहीं जूम में भी प्रॉब्लम आ रही है फिर मैं लिख नहीं पाऊंगा। पहले ठीक आ रहा था ये, फिर ब्रेक के बाद। अच्छा, इसको लॉग आउट करते हैं। स्टूडेंट जस्ट फॉलो क्वेश्चन।
ठीक है सर।
ठीक आ रहा है। अभी देखो काम कर रहा हूँ, ठीक आ रहा है ना?
तो बीच में जरूरी है ना, बीच में ये भी जरूरी है।
ठीक है अजीत, मैं एक काम करता हूँ, मैं ना, हेलो,
ठीक है,
मैं एक बार इसको आउट करके करता हूँ दोबारा।
ये अभी तो ठीक है सर,
है
अभी तो ठीक आ रहा है।
ठीक आ रहा है।
हाँ,
अभी मैं वर्किंग करता हूँ, देखना है। चलो, अगर अभी देखते हैं इशू अगर आता है तो। Okay, Koshki, beta, I will do one thing. I will zoom it, then I will see it. If any issue is there, please let me know. Now, student, let us see the impact of financial restructuring. First part is अब अजीत, अब देखना ठीक हो गया होगा। Reduction in liabilities or payables. Yeah, Koshki. Now it is okay now. First of all, reduction in equity share capital. So 50 lakh into 8 per share, it will be 400 lakh. Yeah. Now reduction in preference share because although their coupon rate has been changed, along with some portion has been written off. Favor of outstanding interest, waiver of trade creditors because trade creditors have agreed for waiving of their 20% claim. Okay, so it is 522. Overall, this is our reduction on part of liabilities. Now we are coming on the evaluation part of assets. Overall, we can say that we have somewhere amount of about 722 lakhs with us for all capital restructuring purpose, internal reconstruction purpose. Now we have 480 lakhs in our balance sheet. That is profit and loss. That is loss. We have to write it off. accordingly, this much of our amount we have with us, and we have utilized this much of amount. Okay, now our capital reserve will be now the third requirement is of the question is second requirement is show the impact of financial restructuring of the company's activities. So ultimately there will be a reserve transfer of 165 and prepare the fresh balance sheet after reconstruction is completed. Now this coupon will be changed. This capital reserve now we come to the asset side. Okay, it is a balancing figure here, 150, but otherwise you can see that in the question it has been mentioned that the new issue of 50 lakh new shares of rupee 2 each will be issued. So ultimately we can see our 50 lakh balance was earlier there. Okay, and new issue of say the amount was 50 lakh into 2. So this amount is there. So ultimately the figure is standing, no problem. Okay, student. So this will be the I can write it here. Okay, student. So with this, we come to the end of the assignment discussion. Now, I think I will discuss with you your point because right now I could not get exactly what you want to convey. Okay, no problem. I will contact you. So, student, now I am coming to our next part of discussion. How to crack the SFM examination. One second. Now, student, when we talk about our preparation, we can divide our strategy. Of course, generally what happens, my experience in a board of studies, I'm just in a board of studies for the last about 15 years. I am here. More than 15 years I have in a board of studies. And in my experience, what I have observed, normally students work hard. Okay, very well do. But as they approach to the time approaches for their examination, their main worry starts then. Okay, they start worrying how will I will compile my wind up my course, what will be so hundreds of problems comes to worries comes to your mind. So now that's why what I have done, I am discussing with you how you have to define your strategy because it's a paper of strategic financial management. So first you have to apply the strategy for how you will come to discuss how you will make your strategy 1 month before examination, 1 day before examination, and during the examination. First of all, students, it is very important. You start winding up your courses. This is very important because it's a crucial point. So start winding up syllabus by allocating 3 to 4 days for each paper if you are taking both groups, or 7 to 8 days for each paper if you are taking a single group. So that will be the best strategy because ultimately somewhere around because exam will start on 1st November in okay. So in this case, in your November exam, 31 days are there approximate. For May, if the exams are on a May, then 30 days are there. So approximate this time schedule will help you to wind up your complete syllabus. Make small notes in bullet point form for the revision 1 day before examination. It is very important. Now see students, when 1 day before examination is very important because you have to thoroughly revise your course. and whatever work hard you have done for the say about 1.5 year to 2 years, or somewhere 1 to 1.5 years, you have to completely wind it, completely go through the at least one time in day. So it is better. Of course, you have a very fair idea what you can write, but it is very important that you make some bullet points. Next point is very important. Examiners comments on the performance of candidate for the previous listed answer. Now, students, see there are some one section, uh, uh, performance of the candidates in the examination. So it is something like that. Learn from the mistakes of others. Learn from the mistakes of others. Because what happens when because in this comments, it has been mentioned that where the normal student commit the mistake. And if you are well aware about this mistake, you are conscious about the mistake, of course, your mistakes will be very less. So it is very important. Now, next is your refer exam. Try to attempt at least one mock test in examination like condition to locate your mistake shortcomings which can be avoided in the main examination. Now, it is very important that you should at least try to attempt one mock test in examination like condition, because that will help you to know what will be your problems will be there, what the issues can come into the examination. Because once you will sit in examination for three, my advice to you, what you do whenever the mock tests are hosted, whenever mock tests are hosted, you do one thing: you never look at this mock test. It is normally problem that students are excited about the mock test. Whenever ICI come with a mock test, what they do, they start looking for the mock test. No, student, please don't look at the mock test. What you do, you just take a printout of the same, this mock test, and without seeing it, and fix up a day, fix up a time, and just in a room, you sit in a room with a water bottle, and like examination condition, without any disturbance, without any mobile, you just attempt the questions in 3 hours, because it will also help you to improve your time management. Time management is also very important aspect. So you attempt the question in 3 hours, 15 minutes reading time, whatever, as you are assume you are, or you simulate yourself in a examination like condition. So then you will come to know where I am lacking. Your time management is not proper, your conceptual understanding. So by this you will come to know where I am lacking. So that is very more important exercise. Okay, student. Very important. Refer RTPs of current as well as previous 2 to 3 attempts if time permits. Of course, we will come out. Bonus will come out with RTP, that is revisionary test paper, before any every attempt. However, if time permits or is possible, then you should look at least 2 to 3 previous attempts. Okay, that is very important, because sometimes even paper setters have a tendency to adopt the question from these RTP. Or of course, if some variety of questions are there, then certainly it will help you to understand the concept. Question asking, sir, examiner's comments are available in session after? Yes, I think it is are available there, or they may be separately hosted on the website. You look out for the same. In case if you don't find it, please let me know. I will get them hosted on an immediate basis. Otherwise, I'm 100% sure. One time I have seen myself, but exactly location is not in my mind right now. And if question is asking, the person is asking, sir, we have to solve the RTP in first time, reading, read the second reading. Solving the RTP at your own, I want advice, because reason is that sometime in RTP there may be some new question. Okay, of course, if you want to do it, try it, because it is 1 month. But don't try to solve RTP's new question one day before examination. Okay, 1 month before examination you can solve it, no problem. You can try to attempt it, then not an issue. Okay, but one day before examination, please don't try to do it. And how to, Namaste is asking how to remember the formula. Amartya, see, when I will discuss with you because I have your point in my mind. Don't worry, I will take up this matter. Just let me note down before I wind up the session. I will discuss with you how to remember the formula. Just I'm keeping it hold for some time. Now, next is don't pay heed to the rumors, especially toxic contents on or videos on the social media. It is very common problem. Sometime in the office, I receive a call that, sir, is there any is there any change in the syllabus? Is there any this news? Is there any? So I got surprised. Why this? When my problem is my worry starts when 2 or 3 calls I received in a span of 1 or 2 days. So then I asked him why you are asking questions. They say, sir, there is one video on YouTube. They are saying like that. Student, please note that whatever clarification, there are not nothing like that. There we have authorized some coaching centers to host on our web. Whatever be the clarifications are there, that is already hosted on ICA website. Okay. So don't pay heed to the rumors or anything. My advice to you, at least 1 month before, you avoid this all social media contents. Don't look at YouTube because they want to create some sensation, like a sensation in the news. Okay, but once you start doing this video, they will spoil your half an hour, and after that, ultimately there will be no result. So your time is very precious. So don't spend your time to listening to these useless things. Okay, toxic contents. Toxic contents. In case you need any clarification or information, please contact to BOS or ICI for further information. Okay, you drop the mail to us. Our email IDs are there. In every class, we share our email ID. So you contact to us. We shall clarify your all doubts. Okay, don't worry about it. Now, next, very important. Don't skip all the or any topic. As all topics are important because I have seen some videos, etc. What they are doing, they are saying ICA is asking this much of question from this portion, this much of this question. So if you do this, your marks will be this much of sure. Please, student, don't go by this shortcuts. Okay, don't try to do this because what happens in a SFM question pattern, there is a mixing of the topics in each question. One question may be from one topic, another question may be from one topic. Now suppose you can answer one part of the question, but other part you may have skipped. Then of course you are losing unnecessary marks. So my advice to you, all topics are important. Sometimes student ask, sir, which is the most important topic? My answer is always that all topics are equally important. I don't know. It is a paper setter's freedom. Okay, it is a paper setter's freedom from which they can frame the question. Okay, of course, there are some guidelines we have provided to them, but certainly they have, you cannot say that this is most important, you ask more questions. There are some guidelines are there. Okay, student. So don't skip the topic. It is my request to you. And one more important, never skip the theory. Okay, never skip the theory. At least 1 month before examination is the best time you revise the complete theory because what will happen? Theoretical revising your theory will help you to understand the concepts. Sometimes you may have some doubt regarding some topic. So this will clarify your concept, and also it will also help you to answer the question in your examination because with each question there is a theory at all. Now next comes 1 day before examination. It is very important. 1 day before examination means how you have to manage your things because 1 day before the examination is very crucial. Now in your time you are getting 1 day holiday, but in our time we never used to get holiday. If you ask your seniors or your parents who are chartered accountants, in our time there was no holiday was used to be there. And if we are taking both groups, so only one Sunday used to come in between, and we don't know on which day it will fall, and ultimately we will get the benefit of good revision. So our exams are used to be on continuous basis, and if our luck works, sometime there are any festival holidays are there, then we can get the benefit of the same. Otherwise, continuously we are have to take the exam in a one go. And our problem with is that we normally used to get only say 7 to 8 hours quality time that to revise the complete syllabus. So even then we used to revise it because whatever work we have done one bit more, put our lot of efforts not before the on this before this examination, and that will work on your one day before examination. So whatever you have done, please revise it quickly, okay, thoroughly. Now don't try to attempt the new question as at your own, because getting wrong answer will lead you. Now this is I was if you want to attempt the RTP, so don't try to attempt new question. That is my request to you. Because what happens sometimes you may lose the confidence. If you could not get the answer, then certainly your preparation will be hampered. You will start losing your confidence. Okay, it is very important because you will start losing your confidence. Refer bullet points and small notes for theoretical papers prepared earlier. For theoretical portion, you can say, and even this can also work in your theoretical paper also. Small bullet points will help you to solve, because now it is not the time that you will go through the whole theory, or even if you wish and confusion is there, only one or two topics you can refer. Otherwise, you will recall, okay, in this topic it was there. So please refer these points. For numerical papers, practice questions with small working. Now, see, all the questions you cannot do at your own. At this moment time, the time is not that you would complete all numerical questions. Some questions you will see, you will say, okay, I know their answer. But if you have any want to practice some questions, okay, you select some questions where you feel that I need some practice. So you do it by small working, scribbling. Okay, because time is not that you complete all the procedure, because if you start doing that in this manner, hardly enough, say if you have only 12 to 15 hours, so hardly you can solve 100 to 125 questions with full working. Even 100 I am saying more figure, because each question involves a lot of time. Because if I talk about your examination, in your examination you have 3 hours, and somewhere about there are 10 to 12 questions are there in parts. So you can imagine how much question I can solve in 10 to 12 hours. So somewhere around 100 you can question maximum with your complete working. You just because, but in examination you have to produce your all the steps in the exam answer book. But here you can skip this portion and just do working for to develop your understanding. Okay, to develop your understanding or to keep in the mind the logic behind the answer. Now stay away from mobile phone and avoid discussion with your peer on any question, as difference of opinion can lead to confusion and panic. Now student, it is very important. It is better don't contact your peers over the telephone, and especially discussing what happened on the previous examination, because it is our habit when we come out with examination, we start see how much our paper has been there, what was our good, whether my paper has gone bad or bad, and avoid discussion on the paper that you have already taken. Because if you have come out with a financial reporting paper in a SFM paper, so it is my advice to you, please don't discuss my paper has gone bad or well, because the paper is same for everyone. So it is avoid, don't discuss with it. And especially in if you are discussing about the SFM and on, then it will create a confusion or panic, because he will say, my sir is saying like that. Then you will say, yeah, am I wrong or correct? Then it can create a confusion. So avoid this kind of a thing. It is very important. Next point, keep your admit card, pens and other stationery items, especially calculators for numerical papers in advance, so that nothing could be missed in the last minute. It is very important. Students, please keep your admit card, whatever with the ID proof, etc. What is the requirement of examination? I'm not going into that much detail. Whatever the instructions have been provided you by the examination department, keep all the documents, pen, whatever color of the pen. I think in nowadays they are only there is one block black ball pen is used for your answering the questions. So please keep two or three pens there, because if one does not come is not functioning, then at least you can switch over to other pen. Another stationary item, scale, okay, scale, etc. Calculator is very important. Okay, students, calculator is very important because you have to keep the calculator with you for your working. And my advice to you, at least keep two calculator with you. Don't take the risk. You keep two calculator, because mobile is not allowed for your calculation and examination. So mobile is not allowed. So if one calculator is not working, at least you have a second calculator with you as a stepney. And if any student has forgotten to take his, so it can be helpful for him also, or her also. So if anyone has forgot, so but my advice to you, please keep it, but keep your separate second calculator in stepney also. Take proper sleep. It is very important. Now students sometimes out of anxiety, they could not sleep the whole night. Of course, sometimes the problem was also with me, that sometimes we could not could not sleep. But my request to you, please stay relaxed. Okay, if possible, please take proper sleep. Because in anxiety, if you don't sleep, then it will create the problem in your examination. Take proper meal before examination. It is very important. Sometimes students go empty stomach or taking very less food. Then certainly then they can have a bad health there in the examination. Now next thing comes during examination. First of all, very important, read instructions thoroughly and carefully. One second. It is very important. Of course, students, the instructions are almost same every time. That at first question is compulsory, attempt any 4 questions from the remaining 5 questions. But my advice to you, at least read one time these instructions carefully. Okay, if there is any change, then certainly you will suffer. So my advice to you, in each every paper, just give a glance to it at least. Okay, of course I know that, because it is like whenever we go to the plane before the flight takeoff, as per the protocol of the DGCA, there is the air hostess comes in the front of the plane and she explains how you have to handle, or how do you have to manage yourself in case of any emergency landing, etc. They give all by language, both in English and the regional language, as well as they do it by the shaking of their movements of their hands. So all this, of course, we know every time we sit in the plane, same exercise there, but still they do it. So similarly, my advice to you, please read, and at that time it is always better you listen to them. Okay, because once you listen to them, God knows what will happen, but at the time this will be thing in our mind. Similarly, whenever you attempt a question paper, just give a reading to the instruction. Next, don't make judgment in the question in the first 15 minutes of the examination. Now, since 15 minutes reading time is there, I think, so don't make just I will do this paper, or question paper is very tough. Please don't spoil your mood. It is very important that you should maintain your mental status there, because normally what happens, you got, oh, it's a very tough paper, because paper is same for all candidates, whether tough or simple. Okay, so paper is same. So don't make judgment. Okay, it is bad for me. For other, it is good. And very important, all the sport solution for the unseen question. Now, of course, if any question comes in examination that is from our previous question paper or RTP, then certainly you will feel happy, or study material, then it will make you more happy. Oh, I have done this question. But sometimes our mind the panic starts when we see any unseen question. Now here the work of the chartered accountant comes into the picture. Here his mind or her mind now is tested here. How he or she can find a on-spot solution of an unseen question. Similarly, because what happens once you become a chartered accountant, after some time you become CFO of a company. Now, as a CFO company, every day, even day to day, you have to handle the unseen situations, unpredictable situations. So that kind of a questions make you prepared for this and handle this kind of a situation. It is very important. Now, first attempt those questions which you know better. It is always better because once you start solving the question that you know better, it will start. You can say it will our 12th class examination. Whenever we come out or we judge our performance by telling our balance sheet. If our balance sheet is two sides of our balance sheets are telling, of course we say our paper has gone well. Of course, if the balance sheet of the two sides is telling, our question goes well. But please remember, in I'm sharing with my experience in my CA examination, except 12th class, or I think in BCom honors, in CA examination, my examination, my balance sheet can never used to tell you. Okay, even I not used to write the total because whatever with the marks I could get, I used to get from the workings because stepwise working is there. So please remember that even if your balance sheet does not tell you in the examination, so please don't worry because stepwise marking will take care, sir. Don't lose don't lose your patience that my balance sheet is not because it will ultimately what will happen if you spend too much time on matching or verifying your answer, it will take away your time. Next, very important, write properly question number on the top of the answer book. It is very important. It is because on the top of the answer, because you have to write question number 1A. Now, students, sometimes it is very important that fresh question should be started from the fresh page. Now, question comes in the mind, sir, whether we should say there is question number 1A. Okay, you first solve the question or fifth A, whatever you advise. It is not necessary that you should do all the question in order. Whatever question you choose, I say you take the question number 5A. Okay, now 5A question is there, you attempt the same. Now, if after it is finished off, from the fresh page, you start question number, on the top you write question number 5B. Okay, right answer to the question number 5B, but it should be on the top and it should be started from the fresh page. Now, sometimes if it has a sub part, say 1 or 2, that can be on the same page, but part should be on another page, fresh page. Sub part can be on a same page, but however, it is always better if you could do it because sometimes because sub part are the part of the calculations. Yes, it is continuation of the main question, but fresh question should be started from the fresh page. Okay. Now avoid linking the question with the material you have referred. It is very important. What happens, of course, when you question comes in your examination that you have already solved, then certainly it will help you to boost your confidence. But sometimes what happens, in a hurry, you lose some crucial point because sometimes in the examination, suppose if you have done any question where the word has mentioned inclusive, now paper setter has done it as an exclusive, then certainly the answer will be reverse or answer will be different. So please don't, because that's why I say never cram this question, never cram any question because it will create a problem. Please give a proper reading and note each and every point. It is very important. Next comes numerical questions should be supported by the reasonable working notes. Now sometimes it says, sir, what is reasonable? Student, see in our working, in our previous working, in today's working even you can see, we have to arrive at some figures. So how we have arrived some figure we have to show, but we will not to show 2 into 2 is equal to 4. That is understood. So some working we are at what at if we are arriving at one figure, then we have to show the path that how we have arrived this figure. So it is very important. We should be our answer should be supported by reasonable working note. That is more important. If time permits, revise your answer. It is very important. You should because your answer should, if possible, then revise your answer. Before handing over answer books to the invigilator, please ensure that you have entered correct roll number and marks the question attempted correctly. Sometimes I think in examination there are some on the cover there is a you have to put a ticks etc. There, if there is there, I'm not aware, but earlier there used to be ticks. Their box used to be there where you have to mark which question you have attempted. So you have to mark this question, whatever we have attempted, then it will be because you will ensure that because sometimes it has been observed that in our time or I think even 2 or 3 years back, student is I receive a call from a student. Sir, I forgot to mark the answer in the box. Whether my this marks will be considered, this questions will be evaluated. My answer was yes, it will be evaluated. No worry, but it is better don't keep such things in your mind. So avoid this. Be ensured before handing over the answer book to the examiner. So next comes the what you have to refer for your preparation. Now existing study material for the existing scheme. Study material October 2021 exam edition of the study material. And these suggested answers are hosted on website. In addition to that, RTP, previous mock test papers, you can refer. Okay, but current MTP, you have to practice. As I told you before 1 month. Okay, but or whatever, whenever it comes out. Current MTP, you have to practice, and previous MTP, you can refer. This is a reference material. Now comes what is the structure of the question paper. Of course, the maximum marks is 100. Time allowed is 3 hours. I think there are 15 minutes reading time. Total number of questions, out of which first question is compulsory of 20 marks, consisting of 4 the past mostly in the numerical question. Sometimes first time question consists of 4 numerical questions, small, 5 marks each. Okay, now out of remaining, you have to attempt of 20 marks each. 4 questions need to be attempted. It consists of both numerical as well as theoretical. So first 2 parts are normally numerical and last part is theoretical. So generally in each question, somewhere around is 16 of the numerical and 4 plus theoretical. So this is the structure of the examination. Now, Kochki was asking, I don't remember how to remember the formula. Student, please note that in the if we talk about the formula, of course there are some formulas in the SFM paper, but if you try to understand the logic, you will came to know that it is nothing the formulas, but it is something only simple mathematical calculation. Okay, of course there are some formulas like calculation of minimum variance, minimum. You have to calculate some like what is the proportion that that leads to minimum risk. 2 or 3 formulas are there, but when we talk about the formulas, there are some. I have seen that if you go by the logic, then you can easily identify these are not the formula. Like in case when we compute the derivative valuation, basically it is a kind of a risk-less hedge portfolio. Risk-less portfolio that is created by holding the equivalent number of underlying stock and selling the option. But so these all formulas are basic. So ultimately, you just if you understand except 2 or 3, normally formulas are basically there, and even especially in case of Divas sir class, I have seen he always explain the logic behind each formula. So once you understand the logic behind each formula, where tedious mathematical calculations are not involved, then certainly it will help to you. And moreover, I have told you when we talk about the our like security valuation question. In this, if you are clear about the formula of cost of capital, then there is no problem will be there, because like in the cost of capital we used to compute like this: KE is equal to D1 upon P plus G. As I told you, this we have to calculate in cost of capital. Now here what happens when we talk about our security valuation, this has been given to us, this has been given to us, we need to calculate this, and this has been given to us. So accordingly we interchange it. When we interchange this equation, so simple. So as such, there is no such requirement. Similarly, when we talk about perpetual perpetual preference share, so the KP is equal to used to be preference dividend upon May investment proceed I and whatever be the say, or we can say it is the price. Now you have to find the price, so preference dividend by KP that has been given to us. So by this we can interchange and we get the knowledge about the formula. So there is not such requirement of remembering or mugging up huge number of formula. Okay, student. Now I am coming to the now final part. We have in this journey, we have in this journey about 2.5 months. We have been connected with the student, and I think the main role of the students who have connected with us. And I am just taking some name. I am taking some names of the some students. If any name is skipped from our side, so please forgive us. I am taking the name of Namarta, Koshki, Janvi, Yedu Kundalu, Munish, Sumit, Mansha, and these are the names that I remember. They used to ask the query ongoing basis. So they are ultimately a motivating factor for us on the online classes. Of course, most of the question students are, because of their time constant of articleship, they may be viewing our lecture on the recorded session. So students, my request to you, even if you have any query, we are having shared our email. This is my contact number. You can contact me within the office timings from say 10 to 5:30. You can contact me over the telephone, no problem. Okay. So we are here to help you in this paper SFM, and so you can contact me as in this time on of course a holiday we are not there, or you can send us the query. So student, and please always remember, please don't hesitate to contact us, because there are some rumors like that if you contact to the viewers, then you will the problem. There is nothing like that. We are friends of the student and we are for the student. Okay, viewers there because of the students, so we are here to serve the students. Now with this we are coming to our journey, and before I wind up my session, it will be not it will be unjust if I don't take the name of my technical support team, and especially Ajit Kumar from ICI. He is my colleague. He has done a wonderful job, because day and night he has all the matters relating to hosting a website and lectures is handling. It is doing a wonderful job. And Mr. Tyagi and our technical team from ICI is there also. And from our vendor side who are supporting us, Mr. Ashok. Ashok, thank you very much for your support for all around. And of course, our other colleagues also are there, and I will also thank our director for quality studies, madam, for all the classes, and other chairman, Mr. Ashal Mushmita, for taking our technical classes, and our vice chairman also. Because both of our very clear what is the position of classes, they always keep on asking us. So I really thankful both of them. So students, with this, we come to the end of our this session. And SFM, but matter will not become here end. You are of course allowed to contact us, and I hope you come out with the flying colors once your exam is there. You come out with the. Let me check before final I wind up. Any queries there? Viraj, I think sound is clear to you. Maybe not clear to you, but I will take care. And this is Yadu Kundulu is asking for the Yadu. I will talk to you for this your query later on. Don't worry, I will talk to you separately over the phone, or if possible, you contact me over the telephone. Okay, it is not the right platform to discuss your query, but I will contact. Please contact me, and thank you for your sharing your appreciation, sharing us with us. So, student, with this, I I wish you all the best for your November 2000 this forthcoming examination, and I wish you come out with a flying colors. Once your result come out, you become members of the institute. Okay, student. Thanks for patience listening. Have a nice day. Okay, thank you.